So the karmic's way of stopping the wheel of fortune from turning in such a way that I get my justice and they get their karma, right, is essentially an automated way by the universe. That is, since it's programming all of it, there is a automated functionality of a wheel of fortune, which is done in such a way that it has to balance things out in the universe, or balance things out on earth or in the physical, whatever the case may be. So they have managed to kind of like jerk it not to turn, right? However, Father comes to me and he says to me, these people went and stopped the wheel of fortune. You're gonna have to go and, kind of like remove whatever blockage they used to jerk it not to turn. It's an actual will. And he says to me, so I'm like, so in the meantime, what happens in the meantime? Because I have to still go on, and I cannot move on without the wheel of fortune moving on. Father's like, no, they may have, even though they have stopped the wheel of fortune in that way, that is things working out for you or me in the universe automatically when time comes, when divine timing comes for things to come back to me, that is the universe to reimburse me or reverse all that energy that was stolen from me. Even though they stopped that, there still is a manual way of doing things. So they stopped the automated way of doing things. However, Father still has a manual way of doing things in the meantime. And those things are how he is going to do that. And he says, I think what he said as well was that what they essentially did is actually, and I was upset because I was like, not another thing with the comings. Seriously, what is this? Father's like, no, don't worry about it because of it means I'm going to have to do it manually. And it's like, what I got from him, it's almost like he was like, it will actually work out for you, because what they did is stopping that, all that energy coming back and all that karma coming back, right? Or all that, all my stuff coming back from me, my energy coming back, and therefore the universe reimbursing me. What Father has to do now is that he has to do a manual kind of a destiny wheel of fortune in a way. And how he does that is that he has, in a way, would be able to give me things that I need to move forward with my mission. And the things that I was supposed to get anyway. However, these things are going to come manually. They're going to come manually. But then Father says something like, but then once you jerk, you remove, it's like they've lodged something. It's a huge wheel. You know, like there's this wheel in, but that is too big. I'm lying. There's this the London wheel or something like that. That's too big. But it's big. It's a big wheel. What they did is they plugged it's a wooden wheel as well. They had something to sort of like jerk it not to turn. And I was like, when I saw it, I was like, really, you're still using that? Father's like, that's the thing. It's like this 3D environment needs to change because of the things the technologies and the things that have been working around this environment are susceptible to that kind of manipulation by other programs. So hence, when you upgrade, when they learn something about the environment, then they add on more security, more protection, more control. We didn't get that with the upgrades of 4D and with the upgrades of 5D because of we are behind in 3D. So when I saw the Wheel of Fortune, I was like, really? That's what it looks like? That old? And it's like, yeah, it's because of the environment. It's 3D. It's like these people are still late. They are like behind, so behind, right? So even I get the feeling that even this cards, now I'm getting the feeling that even this tarot card system is kind of like a older way of doing things on earth. I think Father did say that some people had tried to evolve it, but it's still pretty much, because I remember him asking me to kind of understand it and then try to see if I cannot come up with a way for myself. Maybe some other people will use it, but I've seen a lot of people who've tried to change it, and it's kind of interesting. And this is what I'm saying. I don't really believe in these cards. So they make sense after a while, but I feel like we need a representation of where we are, at least, or where we're going, because this is very old. I mean, King of Cups, what the fuck is that, Why can't we say King of Hearts, right? Just like when you're playing a normal decks, we could say that. Or I don't know, these kings and queens as well, they need to go. They need to go. Kings and queens, we don't use that anymore. How many countries have kings today? It's just a few, I mean, that system is it's too behind. Come on. And now what Father is saying is that they actually did you a favor. They're going to do you a favor, because once you jerk that wheel to turn, that energy is going to come back to you. You would have received basically double the manual way of doing things, and also the automated way will come through, and then you will receive your automated stuff. And I was like, because I was upset. I was like, you see now, don't tell me I have to wait now, and I have to, but that's like, no, you don't. You're still going to continue with your mission. But you're going to have to go back, and at some stage you're going to have to find time. He says you're going to have to find time to go and jerk it to start turning again, right? And I'm like, okay, but then in the meantime, it's like, no, in the meantime, we're going to do the things. It's just that he was like, now gotta go and do things manually. Like, all the things that he had planned to essentially move me forward in my path, I'm essentially going to get it. It's just that it's going to be manual. And Father's like, it's actually maybe the best thing, because now I get to have control over it. It's like what they did was stopping the automation of that wheel of fortune for I think it's for everybody. And mainly for me not to receive, mainly for them not to get their karma, and it affects everyone else that they have affected, right? What essentially happens is God now has to do things in a different way, in the way that he used to do it before. He doesn't like that per se. He seemed to be like, it just means that I gotta do these things manually. So he's like, it's actually maybe the best thing in your case, in a sense of he is now in control, in full control of what comes and what doesn't come to me. By stopping that wheel of fortune and not letting things happen, I would have obviously affected it in a way of, even if karma's coming back, maybe I would have made a mistake somewhere, and then I would have had something that needed to come to me automatically be stopped because of I just did something. But this way, Father is able to control it in such a way to say, okay, maybe even if I do something that is not according to universal law, Father can deal with it with me directly in that way, instead of letting the wheel of fortune do its thing, right? But then now when the wheel of fortune starts again, right, because of it had been stopped, they basically stopped it at a point where it has to go back and turn and reverse all the things that they've stolen from me, and take from and reverse all their karma, the shit that they did back to them. What they did is, that's what they did. And now, because of that automated way of doing things is not running, because of they have fiddled with it means Father has to go and do manual, because I have to still continue with my mission. So when I'm looking at these cards right now, the spread that I have is still the Celtic cross. And I'm laughing because I'm looking at this and I'm like, but what did they stop exactly? So I'm remembering that, yes, they did stop some. Because I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune in the past. That is, it would have happened. Something would have turned. This wheel would have turned. And I'm like, what would have happened for it to turn? And I can figure it out. It's like I would have had to get out of these curses that I'm currently going through. But when that happens, this is when the Wheel of Fortune has to, or karma has to be able to reverse everything to me. But then they stopped that. Okay. However, I'm getting out of the curses, right? And as soon as that happens, it's like they don't have any control anymore. They can send curses, right? But the only thing they have control of is to stop their own karma coming back to them. And perhaps my karma, maybe their bad karma and my good karma from going where it needs to go. However, at the same time, when I'm looking at the cards are saying to me, you're going to still receive what you need to receive to move forward. You're going to be happy. You're going to end up where you need to end up. You're going to be meeting the people that you were supposed to meet. So I remember Father going back and he's like, I'm going to have to manually now get involved in this plan. Isn't like where I was supposed to see someone or meet someone. He's going to have to manually go in there and make sure that the plan that was on there for me to meet this person happens. And it might not necessarily happen in the same way, but it will still happen. So this is why I feel like now I understand why I know why I have different versions of what could happen, but I also see some specific things which are kind of like having too many, like, they have various ways that they can happen. Like one specific path, if I take this path, for instance, right, it would be that path. But there are some paths where if I take them, they still have like another version to them. And this is where the confusion comes in. And this is where I'm fighting with Father to say, I don't understand anything. My intuition is not working because I'm seeing bits and pieces of this information at the wrong time. First of all, that is, my intuition is not coming as it should because of the exhaustion, right? So my program is reading slower, so the information comes, but when it comes, it's like either it's delayed or it's going to be confusing because of it is the right message. It's just that I don't know for which path, or I'm thinking it's for a specific path and it looks for that specific path. However, it's not exactly what could happen. You know what I mean? It's almost like one path has two versions. Another path has one version, but these paths which have two versions, the information there, I don't know what is what. It doesn't, because of it's not flowing. It's not coming out in a flowing state for me. It's like it's very much jerky, like delayed, and so I don't know what I'm reading at the time. Hence, Father said, please don't stop with your cards. You're going to have to use your cards in order for you to know what's going on. So essentially, maybe I'm getting also that, Father, please confirm me. The card system, it used to be an intuition way of, oh, is that what it is? It used to be an intuitive way for people to find out from the universe, but you could have it. How, Father? I've been telling people to be intuitive in that way. What are we saying now? They still can, but this used to be like a specialized, more confirming intuition. But for me, because of I have a strong intuition, I didn't need it, but I need it now because of the state of my program has run so far okay, that the information is still not coming right. So when I get back to being normal again, I might still use the cards or not necessarily need to use the cards. Okay. That's what I'm understanding now, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, these people haven't really stopped much. They have delayed a lot of things, and this is why my program has been running for so long, and this is why I'm so tired, and this is why my intuition is, the information is there, but it's not coming out as fast as it should. I remember Father coming online as well again, saying to me, please don't leave your tarot cards, because of there's going to be something wrong with your intuition. You're going to need your tarot cards. And I did leave the tarot cards, like for a day. Last week Friday, this week Friday, I was like, you know what, I need a break from these things because they're not working for me. Maybe if I stop them for like a couple of days or so, when I come back, they'll be fine. And I have been planning to do this anyway, because there was a time when I thought to myself, maybe if I leave these things for a long while, right, and come back to them, they'll make sense later. Something says to me, pick up those cards on a Saturday. Actually told me to pick it up on Friday, the very Friday where I was trying to not pick them up the whole day. And I managed to go a day without looking at them. The next day I went in and looked at them. And funny enough, they were like now a little bit readable, right? And I was like, okay, fine. After that, I remembered that, look, you know what, Father did say to me, I'm going to need these cards. I may need to continue with the cards. Because for me, card reading was an option. Father said, no, I created it for you just in case, you know. And here I am, I need it. But I get the feeling Father probably knew that I'm going to need it. He didn't think, though, that I was going to be so run down to this degree where my program, as much as it's got strength and power and whatnot, yeah. So what I'm getting is that my physical is the one that is tired, which is true, because I can keep going. My mental state is still kind of like in a sharp way, but why is it that my physical, why can I access my mental? I mean, why is there a difference? My spirit program is fine, but my physical program cannot catch up anymore. Oh. So my spirit program, this is why, because I keep getting messages of, you need to rest, you need to rest, you need to rest. If you don't rest, you're going to collapse. And I'm like, where do I rest? Where do I rest? When do I rest? You can't expect me to rest in this place. I can't rest here. I rest, the next the moment I wake up, they have siphoned energy from me in some way. This is not a good environment to rest. And they keep saying, you need to rest, you need to rest. It's going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you. And it does look like it's going to catch up with me. I don't know. But, I mean, they can't blame me for this. This is their fault. This is Spirit Team's fault for not getting me out of this hellhole on time. So my body is essentially, my physical program and my spiritual program are kind of like out of sync. My spiritual program wants to continue, wants to move on, wants to go on, but my physical program is tired. You can hear from my voice that I'm very exhausted, and that's the problem. But mentally, I'm a little bit sharp, in a sense of I can still process, but it's slow. Like I feel like I'm getting something, and these days it's getting even more and more hard, because I feel like instead of it coming through, the information, the intuition that is inside intuition inside information coming through, instead of coming through, what is happening is I feel it, I see it, like my physical beingness knows that there's something that is there that I need to grab, that I need to bring, but it's not coming forward. It's not coming forward. So my spirit is saying, here's the information, but my physical cannot go and grab it immediately. It's like, it's very slow to respond to that, even though I can sense that something is trying to come through. So this is some of the things that I need to kind of like take care of by doing a simple thing of resting. Hopefully with this turn of the Wheel of Fortune, which I kind of coined the Wheel of Misfortune, this turn when it happens, even though it's going to be more manual, which I also kind of like, because I feel like when I'm understanding now, it's like the way it will happen, at least it would be in such a way that it's not just the universe that is the operating system, which is currently under arrest in some cases. That is the people that are supposed to come to me or whatever by the devil. So meaning Father has to sit there on his machine, and wherever the operating system is not necessarily doing what it's supposed to be doing, Father has to go and dump those files where they need to be in order for me to receive them. In the physical, something like that. So he's going to have to do manual things in order for me to start moving in a way as if like, well, not as if the Wheel of Fortune is supposed to have turned, but because of its stuck, I guess what needs to happen now is, instead of that wizard or whatever, it's probably a wizard of some kind, doing this Wheel of Fortune and dispensing or allocating karma as it needs to do, or reversing whatever that is, because I'm the coming to. I don't know about the Wheel of Fortune, but there's something I need to learn about the Wheel of Fortune, how it works, and I feel like it's something within my program as well. Like I have something like this in my program, because if I'm a karmic too, right, I need something to be able to reverse. I feel like I have my own internal Wheel of Fortune. Perhaps that's the one that they have stopped. This is why Father says you're gonna have to go and jerk it. Like I'm gonna have to go and remove the thing that they used. It's almost like they took like a plank or like something just to lodge it somewhere to make sure that the wheel doesn't turn. I remember in my vision where I'm going there, right? I'm gonna go. There's some time when I'm gonna go in. I think this is the Wheel of Fortune within me. The Wheel of Fortune within my program. The one that is internally mine. Right? So what's gonna happen? I feel like there's a time when I'm gonna go in there. And I'm gonna find them playing around. Uncle Old Man and Imposter Brother's sister. I said that, right? As soon as I said that, you should have heard the tapping on the roof and the revving of the cars. They're not as strong as they used to be before, because of the vibration of the environment is changing, obviously, and they are losing energy. But what was going to happen was, I remember, I'm going to find them there. They will be playing around in there. But then, that thing that they lodged there to make the wheel not turn, I remember Father saying like, no, that Wheel of Fortune cannot be stopped for too long. It's very heavy. It needs to turn. It needs to turn. It has to. So Father says it's going to turn anyway. Like it's going to break whatever it is that they put there. It has a power. It has a power of its own, and it's got enough power to kind of like break whatever it is that they lodged in there and start moving. So when I go in there, I'm going to find someone. I actually see them before I go. They are busy fucking around in there, right? It's like in a field, open field, and the Wheel of Fortune is standing there. One of them is trying to jerk some to stop. There is a track as well. There's a rail track as well. I feel like this rail track is when whatever has to come through or go back is going to use this rail track. My sister is busy there trying to block something from going with her feet. She's sitting down and trying to stop something from moving forward. Like, there is something that is going to go back for her. And she is on the track inside another cart, but facing the other way of whatever is coming and trying to push this thing not to go back, not to come through, not to continue. Isn't like she's physically forcing it not to continue. On the flip side, the devil is stuck on that wheel on the other side. He's trying to jerk the wheel with his own back, not to, like, he's trying to use his own energy, not for the wheel not to turn. He can see that whatever they lodged in there is about to break, or it broke or something, but the wheel is turning. It kept going like, and then he's calling this fool that is my imposter goddess sister to come. And she's like, no, this thing is going to go through if I come. It's like, it's anyway going to go through because of this wheel is about to turn. You won't be able to stop that. Come and help me here. Then she leaves that. And as she leaves that track that she was trying to stop, almost with such power, it almost kicks off the one that she got on off the track, and then it continues straight. It's going back. And she's like having this worried look of, oh shit, right? That shit is coming for me. Now she has to rush to the other side to help Uncle Oman, that is the devil, to kind of like, they want to stop this. This thing is huge. It's first of all, these people don't have energy. They don't have physical energy, physical power, even spiritual energy, spiritual power to stop that thing. But they're going to try. And when I come in there, I see them. I'm actually dressed differently. I understand why people say I'm fearless. I look fearless in the spirit because it's a spiritual world. And I enter there and I'm different. I'm a different person. I'm warrior-like. And I'm looking at these fools, right? I'm not rushing. I'm walking and I'm looking at them and... man, these guys. Someone is going to join me. One of my counterparts is going to join me in there. Because when I approach, right, they see me. Oh. So they were trying to jerk it, and I think what happened was they couldn't. They were propping it and trying to prop it. It eventually starts going, like, it's kind of like, it breaks that plank that they lodged in there, and it starts moving. Then they have to rush. They have to get away from it because it's going to crush them. Then it starts moving. As it starts moving, they're looking at all this karma going back on the rail tracks. Like, the Wheel of Fortune is working now, and it's working as it should, and it's fast. It's fast, and the tracks, those tracks going, one is going right, the other one is going left, are starting to pile up with things inside the carts to take back to who it needs to take it back to. They're going on the other rail where my sister was trying to block something going through the gate where it eventually leaves to come back to her. They're going to go that side. They're going to try to stop each and every track that has their karma coming to them. They're going to try to kind of like, I don't know if they're trying to remove things or something like that. Now I'm walking in there. I'm watching these fools. And I'm like, what are you doing? Then they look up. As soon as they look up, my uncle, always, my uncle, he runs. He goes and hides somewhere. It's like as if like he doesn't. He behaves as if like I didn't see him. He has this thing when it comes to me. I don't know what it is. He leaves my sister there and then he goes and hides somewhere. But then I don't notice as well that behind me, one of my counterparts, I don't know how he got in, decided to come in with me in that spirit format. And when he comes in with me, Father said he guided him to do that because there were two of them. My sister immediately sees me. When she sees me, she looks at me and then she shakes her head and she sort of like makes her like a nose, like she's like smelling something funny. She's like, "You're pregnant." I was pregnant. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, whatever, man. And I'm coming at her, right? She's like, this is when my uncle goes and hides. But then only to realize that when my uncle goes and hides, behind me, my counterpart is coming in with me. He's coming through as well. And I'm like, what are you doing? I don't remember what she said. And essentially, we just have to kind of like, they're trying to run away. We have to chase them to get them out of there. Like, but I don't remember the rest of the vision. But I feel like when I remember when we were trying to chase them, I was prepared to kind of like slap them around if I have to in a way. But the silly thing is they can't run. They try running, right? But I'm like in 2-3 steps I caught up with her. And Uncle Oman has disappeared. Yeah, he disappeared. He went and hid. He disappeared. And my counterpart is like, what happened to these people? Father, I need to, you see now when I'm saying my intuition is late, my intuition is not coming through. I have to wait for this information to come through. I don't remember what happened. I feel like we're handing them over, man. We're handing them over to Father or someone. I think Father said, I'll take care of them from here or something. But the devil ran. He got out. When he's like that, he's very fast. He doesn't hang around. The man doesn't hang around. My sister's always the one who gets caught, or all these other people. They have too much of ego. At least he might have some sort of an ego, but he knows when it's time to leave. And then he ran. And I think my sister's the one that we had to hand over to Father. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait for the information to come back. I'm just seeing her. We have her. I don't remember if Uncle Oman is there or not, but I feel like he ran because I remember him trying to hide and then only to realize that there's some. But then that's the thing is, how I realized that someone at my behind me is the way my sister's eyes and my uncle's eyes went like, and then they ran. Like my uncle ran, right? When he runs, my sister is like also starting to be like, okay, it's time to get out of here. And I'm like, what do you think you're going to, where do you think you're going? You know I'm going to catch up with you because I'm bored. I'm kind of like, whatever. Now I got to do this chasing now. But it's even worse because when I look at it and I'm like, okay, they can't even run, these people. But for some reason, the devil got out. I think he got out. And anyway, when I turn, this is when I see what they're seeing, which is my counterpart. And I'm like, what are you doing here? It's like, I had to come in and help you. And I'm like, I'm sure I can handle it. It's like, nope, you cannot do this on your own. So in where he's gonna, and I remember the vision of, he's gonna have to, Father's gonna guide him to help me. Because I have essentially collapsed because I was tired. I collapsed. I was pregnant, I was tired. There was some sort of an argument, there was some sort of a conflict and arguing. and I collapsed. In that state of collapse, I think this is where I'm gonna be, because my spirit is strong. It's just that my spirit's program is not tired, but my physical was tired. I'm gonna collapse. I remember, because I was kind of like, oh shit, I'm going to collapse. Father's like, don't worry, your counterparts will be there with you, but then this is when I'm gonna go in there and kick their asses. And it's a simple thing of dislodging that wheel from whatever it is that they lodged in that wheel and let it run. But it was going to do it on its own. Because I remember Father saying to me, that thing is powerful. It will anyway start running. But when you do find time, right, when you do find time, you might have to make time. Actually, he said, although you might have to make time to go and sort it out, to see what's wrong with it, right? This is Father. It's like, it's not urgent to do it. And in any case, that will is powerful. Because he said to me, that thing has power. They're not going to keep it. Oh yeah, he did. He said that thing has power. They're not going to keep it lodged for too long. I remember he said that. He said that thing has too much power. They're not gonna be able to keep it not turning for too long. But just in case, you might have to go, and you might have to go in and try to dislodge it yourself. And I was like, okay. It's almost like he was saying that I might have to make time during my mission if it doesn't turn. Because he said something like, that thing is too powerful. It's not going to stay, and because it's not going to stay stuck for too long. It's going to turn. But then I might have to make time at some stage to make sure that I go in there and I help it out to turn, right? When he said that, this is when he said, and I said, but then what then now? It's like, no, don't worry. I might have to do some few things manually in the meantime, but yeah, what? It is what it is. And in my physical, I was somewhere, I had collapsed. I wasn't well. And Father was like, she's collapsed. She's in some place. You need to go with her. One of you is going to need to go with her. So my other counterpart who was near me said, okay, what do I do? Father guided him to kind of like join me in my spirit format within my program, spiritual program. He does that. And this is why I didn't notice him. I didn't see that he was coming behind me. But then my brother, my sister, and my uncle saw him and got there, like so scared. And when I turned, I was like, oh, what are you doing here? Then they started running because I wasn't paying attention to them. I was paying attention to the person who's behind me. When I turned, she's running already. And I'm like, what the heck? Really? You're going to do this running? What are you running for? And they are running. They're trying to get away. Uncle Oman is almost gone. And then we're not even rushing. Me and my counterpart are not even like rushing to catch them. It's like we know that they cannot run so far. The way they are running, it's like they are old people. That's how energetically low. In spirit, they are. They might look different than the physical. In the physical, you might see someone who's okay or looks okay, but they will still also display signs of lack of energy in some way. But they might still just look okay. In the spirit format, they still look okay. However, their movements are slower. Like, Father's like, these people, if they're not able to, and Father was saying as well that if they're not careful, that thing is going to crush them. That thing has power. It's going to turn anyway. When we got there, it was already starting to turn on its own. It had already broken that thing that they lodged. They used to lodge there, and the karma was already moving, but they were busy trying to stop each and I think they were taking things out of the cart, or they couldn't, but they were trying to do something on the tracks now with the karma, the tracks with the carts carrying the karma back into, and there's like some sort of like an exit of that cart. This is where, after it exits that place where the Wheel of Fortune is, it's essentially coming back to you. And they were trying to kind of like fiddle with the tracks now. Oh yeah, I think they were trying to take out the track. Uncle Omen's, yeah, they were trying to take out the track. You know Uncle Omen's tricks? The devil's trick of trying to, yeah, I'm right. They are confirming me. They are revving their cars. They were trying to take out the track. Uncle Omen has this thing with the track, right? Of taking out the real track. Ish. So they were trying to take out the real track. And we're trying to, eventually I think we're going to go back. And they did manage to kind of like stop some stuff and take out the track. And we had to go and fix the track and then let the stuff continue. But father's like, and I took a long while in the physical to wake up. That is, my counterparts are gonna have an issue. We're gonna have an issue. We're gonna be on a holiday. We're gonna be on a holiday. It's not a holiday. It is sort of like my holiday. No. Yeah. No, it's not a holiday. It's both holiday and an excursion, a training excursion. And they're coming with me, right? Because you can bring along +1 or someone like that. It's an excursion that you can join, anyone can join. But we were all going there, but when we get there, it's a very nice place. We're going to bump into one of the, I believe it's Storage, one of the previous counterparts, because these counterparts are new. We're going to bump into someone who was supposed to be my counterpart, but didn't answer the call, right? And when we get there, he didn't answer the call because he was also distracted by someone. But when we're there, he's gonna see me. I already know him. I meet him every once in a while. I see him every once in a while. But the moment where he was supposed to connect with me in that way passed. So now I'm just meeting him when I do meet him as just a person that I see and I know and I relate to in some way. But the moment where it's supposed to kind of like establish that kind of connection past him. So although he still has those kind of interests and feelings, he would be on a holiday with his ex or girlfriend or something like that to try to patch things up. But when he sees me with my counterparts, he's gonna have an issue. And one of them kind of like tries to like this is a mess. They're gonna propose, and they, like in a romantic way kind of a thing, they're gonna have one of them is going to have something planned to propose, and the other one didn't know that. But then when he proposes, and I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm happy, and I'm expecting it to be coming from both of them, right? But I realize that the other one is kind of like uncomfortable with what just happened right now, and is about to say something, but somebody else says something that is the other person is like, heck no. This, like, it's a long holiday. It's a long excursion. It's like about a couple of days. How many days? 4 days or so. So all these days he has been watching us, right? And not really impressed. Like he wasn't happy. And trying to like kind of like interfere with me and my counterparts. But on this day, I think it's the last day, one of them decides that he wants to propose. But it seems as if like he also didn't tell the other one. And it's about to be, I was looking at him and happy, about to say yes, but then I realized that this is not a proposal coming from both of them. It seems like the other one is kind of like confused and like doesn't know what's going on. So I draw back a little and about to ask what about why it's just you? Why does it feel like it's just you? Now the other one, as the other one realizes that I just picked that up as well, and we were about to have our own back and forth, right? And then this person, this third, fourth party person comes in and be like, you cannot marry him. And I'm like, excuse me, who are you? And he's like, no, you cannot. I know who he is, but I mean, like, why are you in my business like that? They are actually a different group. We were in a separate group, the excursion group. They were in a different group. They were there for their own kind of romantic kind of holiday thing. We were more on training kind of thing, team building kind of thing. And now he's having like he just got up and tried to kind of like stop this proposal, right? And everybody's watching, and then they're like, who are you? So these two counterparts now, instead of fighting with each other, they turn on this person and be like, who are you? Why can't he marry her? Right? This is the other one now who wasn't even involved in this whole thing. And he's like, hey, you cannot marry them. They know each other. I feel like they know each other. Oh, something like they know each other. They don't like each other or something. They're in competition with in some way. And they kind of like get into it. And this is where I'm going to kind of like that exhaustion that I have, which I've been hiding, because I'm going from one thing to the other and the other. Oh, and it's caused by, it's not exhaustion, it's pregnancy. Yeah. And I didn't even know. I think I didn't know. But someone knew. My other counterpart, not the one who was proposing, kind of knew that I was pregnant and I was keeping it like quiet. Something like that. So when I collapsed, the other one panics. And then I'm being put in some room, maybe our room. And there, this is the one who is going to actually come in to help me out in the spirit world. But then he knows how to do a lot of things. He's capable of doing such things. His program is capable of, he's a healer of some kind. Powerful healer. I think he's the one I think he's a fairy or someone like that. That's why, maybe that's why these other two are so afraid of him. They are very afraid of him. When they see him, their eyes, every time when my sister sees this person, she just goes like, and then she rushes, she runs. It's like, he doesn't even rush as well. He's not like in a rush. So when he comes, the other one, so when I'm there, I'm unconscious, and that guy, not that guy, my counterpart is with me in the spiritual world. But then the fourth party is busy pacing outside. I'm remote viewing this vision, right? This dream, it's a vision for me now. He's pacing outside of my room, and he's waiting. He's pacing it. One of my counterparts goes out and is like, "Is she okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, she hasn't woken up, but she, the other guys, like the other counterpart, is looking after her." And he's insisting now, like, "We gotta take her to the hospital." And that one is like, "No, there's no need," because they have dealt with me like this before. They've dealt with my program. They have had to be in this kind of like medicine man kind of way for me before. So he's like, "No, don't worry, we can handle it." He's like, "You can." He's upset now. He's like, "What do you mean you can handle it? You should be worried. She's carrying your child." Like, they found out after I collapsed, when the other counterpart said she's pregnant, and they were like, the other one didn't know. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, that's why she's collapsed. Anyway, he's giving me some sort of I don't know what it is that he's not helping me in that way. He's helping me by draining me in my spirit, in my dream, in the spiritual world, where I'm sorting out these people. But these two are arguing outside, because this other one is like, "She's carrying your child and you don't want to take her to the hospital." That other one is like, "Why are you so worried about it? She's not your person or whatnot. And what do you mean? Why do you say she cannot marry me?" It's like, this guy's like, "No, this person is actually supposed to be with me." That one is like, "You're crazy. Don't come here with your nonsense." Like, I'm telling you, I feel it, I know it. And this other one is kind of like saying to him, well, it's the same for me, it's the same for us. Like, he says it's the same for us. Like, the other one as well is like, yeah. And this guy is like, "I don't understand what's going on now." It's like, Father is just another character, I promise you. This whole mission, so when I collapsed, I think I'm gonna need to collapse at some stage. I'm going to collapse not once. I'm going to collapse a couple of times, because I run too far. I run so much, and my physical sometimes can't catch up. I do too many things. Sometimes I wish I am not tired, and I sleep late. I wake up early. I don't sleep for too long, and you can tell. I need to start looking after myself and relaxing a little. I don't know why I'm recording this. I was just going to do the cards today, not record. And I started getting this vision, and something told me to just press play or recording. Press recording, and here I am. I'm recording again. But anyway, is there anything else, Father, that you want me to remember about this vision? I don't even know if this vision is going to happen or not. I feel like sometimes Father kind of makes me tick off all these visions so that they don't happen, because I already know about them, so that they don't need to happen anymore. Oh yeah. Oh, so that doesn't need to happen anymore. I wonder why. So sometimes I have had so many versions of my path, my spiritual path. I have had so many spiritual paths. I do have. And some of them, because of the people who were supposed to answer contracts, they didn't. So I left them behind. Some of them, it's that I guess the mission has changed, or the story has changed. Therefore, that mission, that path has to be kind of like, I don't have to do it. Oh, that's what you said. That's what Father said. It's like, no, you won't have to live this. You won't have to walk their paths, all your paths. You just have to remember them. And like, kind of like every time I remember, there's a version like this, there's a version like that. I'm kind of like canceling them out of my path in order for them not to happen. But then I feel like I cancelled everything except for I don't know which one is going to happen. Because I've been, or either they're going to happen together. There is a specific one where I need to, I feel like there's a specific he said something like you don't have to walk all of them. You just have to walk one. I don't know which one. Because I've essentially knocked off almost the ones that I can remember. So there must be one that I don't remember that Father wants me to be on. And I cannot figure it out. I guess it's because it's for a good reason. Because when you start talking about these things and you start remembering them in that way, sometimes you kind of like change the destiny in that way, that they're not going to happen, or if they do happen, they don't happen the same way as you've seen them. And I remember Father talking to me about it, that no, you're going to need Father, but you made me, I feel like I remembered all my paths. There must be a hidden path or something that I shouldn't know yet. That's what it meant. There's the Empress card. There's something that used to catch my eye there. That said something like, things yet to be revealed. Things yet to be revealed. And I was like, what things are yet to be revealed? And right now, I've been going through all these other things. And I don't know what it is that has yet to be revealed. Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, what other option am I going to have then? Perhaps it's the option where I'm doing it on my own. And it's not to say that I'm not going to walk these paths. I am, but they're going to be different. They're not going to be the same. It's almost like I may walk these paths, but I'm changing them in some way. Something is going to change. Either don't walk them at all, or I'm walking them in a different way for different reasons. Yeah. I have ringing in my ear, in my left ear. I just started now. Normally when I do this, 444 comes up. Oh, I have 2214. And I also have 224. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I've got a lot of numbers actually. Normally when this happens, I get a 444. So, yeah. Is there anything else, Spirit? So some of the missions, some of my Father saying that I must remember that I'm actually, me remembering them, me remembering intuitively bringing them forward, it's actually me walking the path. What I remember Father was saying, because I was like, Father, this is so confusing. This is so many paths. When will I have time to do all these things? It's like, no, you don't have to walk all the paths. All you have to do is just remember them. because you remember them in the physical. It is what you have done. It's like I'm in the physical. I'm walking them, but mentally so. I'm walking them spiritually. I'm not walking them not mentally, but spiritually. I'm not walking them physically in because of what I'm how I want to explain it. If I had to know about what was going to happen before it happens, sometimes you do affect your destiny. You affect that future, right? And it doesn't happen, or it doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, the way you saw, you change something. So for me, in order for me not to have to walk, it's like all these paths are not necessary anymore for me to walk. There's something that is happening that I don't see or I don't know, that Father wants me to not know, only to know when that time comes. Fine. But then He has planned so many paths for me. In that way, He needs me to kind of like walk all of them. It isn't like cancel them out because of they are either, what's the word for it? They are done. They're not done, but they don't need to be. There is a specific path that He wants me to take, and I cannot figure it out because I figured out many other things. And that path, I'm not going to know. I feel like I'm not going to know. It's going to be opened to me when it happens in the physical. So what I'm understanding is that me remembering these things, intuitively remembering what I was supposed to do or what I'm going to do, is essentially me walking them. Even though I'm not walking them physically, that is, I'm not doing this, I'm not being with these people physically, but I'm doing them spiritually in the physical. And this is why your spirituality is the most powerful. This is why spirituality, when I say this, you should, every time whenever I say something that it's the truth, they're either going to bark or rev their cars or tap on the roof if they don't have energy, especially when they hate what I'm saying. Like, it's the truth. They start making me itch. So they just started doing that to disrupt me from finishing my thought and to disrupt me from getting this knowledge that is in the physical. You remembering me remembering some of these paths. I'm not necessarily remembering just my program. That's not the same thing. Me remembering my program and remembering what my program does, that's one thing. It's not changing destiny. But remembering what the future is going to look like is what is changing that future, right? So, in essence, it's like my spirit is living in the physical. I'm in the physical, right? And I'm experiencing my spiritual self in the physical. Or my spirit is experiencing itself in the physical. Some of the paths that has been designed for me, I don't need to walk them in a physical way. I can walk them in the physical in a spiritual way. And essentially what I've done is essentially walked that path. That is, I feel like it's how they want me to access my intuition and to practice that intuition to make it stronger. 1. 2, it's also to cancel the paths which are no longer relevant in order for me to move to whatever path that Father. And I feel like it's a new path. I feel like it's something that I'm not going to know about. I feel like, I don't know. I wonder what that looks like. He's telling me a lot of things as well on the cards, right? And I'm trying to, but I feel like I'm also walking this. I don't know if these cards are going to, no, I'm going to walk it. Father's saying I'm going to walk the path. But he said to me, I don't have to. I remember him distinctly saying, you don't have to walk all of them. Some of them you just have to remember, and you would have walked them. But there's one specific. Oh, so what they're saying is, I'm going to remember them. Oh my goodness, I'm itching. I'm sure it's gonna be recording. I'm just jumping, and they just. Why? I must have been recording for too long. Oh yeah, it's after 1 hour 4 minutes. It's 1 hour 5 minutes now. They want me to stop. That's why they are taking me. They usually do this at 1 hour 2-3 minutes. Then they start like making me itch, and I have to jump. And it's like it was quiet for a while, right? And now I'm like, also, I'm just. What was I saying? So Father's saying that I'm remembering them. I don't have to walk them because if I remember them. But there's one specific one that he chose that I'm going to walk. In those ones that I remembered. It's not to say that what I remembered, I'm not going to necessarily walk it. It's like he's showing me all these paths, and I'm walking them spiritually first. But in the physical, there's only one that I'm going to have to walk. And I will see which one is there. Okay, he says 1 or 2. I may need, or all of them. Oh, so even though I'm remembering them spiritually, I'm walking them spiritually. It's almost like I get this card of 7 of Cups, which is options or choice. Is it options? Yeah. 7 of Cups is basically options. I got a whole lot of options that I can go into when I'm finished here in this environment. So Father's giving me the view of which option. What do you want? Oh, is that what you're doing? Oh. And I have a lot of Hammett, self-reflection, self-evaluation, and a lot of judgment, which is something like that as well. Awakening, self-evaluation, and whatnot. I need to kind of like see which ones I would be suited best with. There are 7 options there. So I must count which ones I've seen. There's something that is hidden somewhere. I don't know. It's hidden in these paths that I'm remembering. Something good, something bigger, something. Yeah. But I won't know. It feels like I won't know what that is. And I feel like, I remember Father saying, you're going to have to go through and give each one of them a chance. Because of, I was upset actually. I was like, why do I have to? Why can't I just move forward on my own? It's like, no. He said something about me giving them a chance. Like, I would want to be given a second, or I was given a second chance somewhere. And I need to give these guys a chance. And there's actually 3. It's the one with the third party, with the girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or someone like that. And these 2 that I'm going to meet as well. They're in the same kind of business. This is why they know each other. Right? And then there's this third person who's coming from outside. But I don't know the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. There's 3 options, which I'm not aware of. There's 3 things that I'm not aware of. Perhaps I still need to bring them forward. Oh, the 4th one is I'm not so sure about it. It's almost like some of them are 2 options in one. Yeah, okay. I see which one is the 4th. And which one is the fifth? Where's the... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 is hidden. Where's the 7th one? I feel like that's the one I'm not going to see. No, it can't be. Oh, yeah, there is the 7th option with my old counterparts. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one with my old counterparts. It's too many options. That one also went through it as well. So let's see which one. Sorry, I'm so sleepy. They just tapped something now and I felt sleepy. Alright. Anyway, Father, is there anything else? I don't know what I'm going to name this. What did I start with? The Wheel of Fortune. Perhaps I'll name it the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, Spirit.